Shafee Elsheikh, who became IS hostage-takers alongside Mohammed Emwazi. The group's ringleader, known also as Jihadi John, were deturned by Kurdish forces, it said last month. Gareth Browne is a correspondent for The National. That's a news organisation in the Middle Eastern area. He's reported regularly from here and joins us with more details. What more do we know, Gareth? Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Well, further details are very sketchy. We understand that these two men were detained by Syrian Kurdish forces, the SDF, in eastern Syria last month. Now, the SDF are the international coalition against ISIS's main partner on the ground in the fight against ISIS in Syria. But beyond that, this has come as something of a shock since these kind of hostage videos, started being released in 2014, early 2015. These men kind of dropped off the radar. Very little was known about them. So there's a very large gap to fill in terms of, what they've been up to over the past few years in Syria.
What happens with them now?
Well, this is probably the question on everyone's mind. I'm sure there's elements of the British government that would have liked to have seen these men killed on the battlefield or killed by a drone strike in Syria. There is a little bit of precedent. We have seen British ISIL fighters captured by other rebel groups, FSA-linked, Free Syrian Army-linked rebel groups in Syria. So there are some Brits being held in custody by other rebel groups, but there's no extradition proceedings underway there. Then we also have the case of Aine Davis, who, of course, was the fourth member of the group, the Beatles. Now, Aine Davis is in Turkey. He's currently in prison there and on jail charges, or on terror charges. And again, there's no extradition proceedings happening there. So, if we look at precedent in terms of the other British ISIS fighters that have been captured, it's not clear if they're going to be extradited to the UK or not.
Thanks, sir. That's Gareth Browne, your correspondent for The National. Just to remind, 7 minutes after 8.